we've started with the introduction in the last class. So today we'll continue with that topic, and today we'll be discussing about effects of heat. Okay, so effects of heat. So I'm referring the book over here. So there are various effects of heat, and the one that are mentioned over here in the book are change in temperature, change in state of the body, and change in size of the body. Okay, so heat, as we discussed, there are many effects of heat, but these are the three effects that have been mentioned over here in the book. The first one is change in temperature, second one is change in state, and third one is change in size. And we'll not be discussing much in detail about all this, so let's continue. So first one that we'll be discussing over here is change in temperature, and they are further subcategorized into two types. Okay, so one depending upon the temperature of the body, one depending upon the strength of the heat, okay, how much heat has been supplied, and the other one is depending upon the material. So the first one that we are discussing is quantity of heat supplied. Now, how much heat has been imparted? Okay, how much heat has been supplied to the substance either increases the temperature or decreases the temperature. So if you say you heat any material, when you supply heat to that material, what will happen? The material gets heated, which means when a material gets heated, when a body gets heated, it means its temperature rises. Okay. Now, change in temperature of the body, and it depends upon two factors, as we said. One is quantity of heat supplied. Now, when a heat is supplied to the body, when a heat is supplied to any body, the temperature rises. And if the body loses heat, then its temperature decreases. That is your change in temperature. Okay, so the amount of heat supplied or the amount of heat lost either increases the temperature or decreases the temperature. Now, why does the temperature change when heat is supplied? Now, when heat is supplied to a body, what happens is the molecules, the particles of that body, they start vibrating faster. That means their kinetic energy increases. Okay, when the kinetic energy increases, the kinetic energy of all the molecules increases. They start moving faster. When they start moving faster, their temperature increases. Okay, and vice versa, when a body loses heat, its kinetic energy, the particles kinetic energy decreases. Okay, it starts moving slower. When it starts moving slower, what will happen? The temperature will fall down. So this is how the amount of heat supplied changes the temperature. So if you supply a lot of heat, a lot of increase in temperature. If you supply less amount of heat, there will be a slight increase in temperature. And if there has been loss of heat, there will be decrease in temperature. That is the first one. Now the second one that it depends upon is material of the substance. Okay, now different materials have different specific heat capacity, which means they require different amount of heat to get heated. Okay, for example, if you want to heat, if you supply the same amount of heat to a ball of iron and say iron and steel, okay, so if you supply the same amount of heat for the same amount of time, what will happen? You see, one will have more temperature, the other will have less temperature. Which means one gets heated more, the other gets heated less. Why is it so? Because they are two different materials. So different materials, they require different amount of heat to get heated or to increase their change in temperature. And water has a very high specific heat capacity. Okay, that means water doesn't get heated faster. It does, once it gets heated, it doesn't lose its heat, it's quickly. Okay, so it has a very high specific heat capacity. Okay, so change in temperature of the body depends upon two factors. One is quantity of heat imparted to it, and the other one is material of the body. So different materials, they get heated at different they get heated by different amounts when same amount of heat is supplied. Now the second factor that we're going to discuss is change in state. Now this is something that you have been studying a lot since class 6 itself, I guess from class 5 only. So you know there is, when a heat is supplied to a solid, it changes to liquid, or in some cases it changes to gases. When liquid is supplied heat, it changes to gases, and if gases loses heat, it changes to liquid or sometimes solid. So there is a change in state of matter, isn't it? When one matter changes into another. Okay, when it changes from one state to another. So that is your change in state of the body. And you know very well, if a solid, say this is a solid, and the particles of the solid, when they get heated, okay, we'll say this is your solid, the particles are tightly packed, this is your solid. So when you supply heat, okay, when you supply heat, what happens to the particles of solid? The particles of the solid, as we said, when the particles, the molecules, when they get heated, they start moving faster. And when they start moving faster, the intermolecular space between the particle, they start increasing. Okay, the intermolecular space between the particle increases because the intermolecular force of attraction, that means the force of attraction between the two molecules, will become weak. Okay, so when the force of attraction becomes weak, they tend to be moving away from each other. That means the space between them increases. And when the space between them increases, so they start moving away from each other. And thus solid changes to liquid. Okay, so the substance has changed from solid state to liquid state. And what is this process called? This process is called melting. That means when solid changes to liquid, the process is called melting. This is when heat is supplied. Okay, when heat is supplied to solid. Now, just the opposite, okay, the vice versa. Say, just the opposite. Say you have liquid. When the particles of the liquid loses heat. Okay, the particles of the liquid, what is happening here? Loses heat. Now when the particle loses heat, what will happen? Their kinetic energy will decrease. When kinetic energy decreases, they will move slower. And as they move slower, the intermolecular force of attraction, that means the force of attraction between the two molecules, will become strong. Okay, and when the force of attraction becomes strong, the particles will come closer and the space between the particles will become less. That means then the particle changes to solid particles. Okay, then the particle changes to solid state. And the process in which when a substance changes from liquid state to solid state, that process is called freezing. Okay, so this is one change of state when solid changes to liquid. And when does solid change to liquid? When the particles of solid gain heat. When the particles of the solid gain heat, it changes to liquid. And that process is called melting. And why does it happen? It happens because when the particles get heated, the intermolecular force of attraction decreases, becomes weak, and the intermolecular space between them increases because of the increase in kinetic energy. Okay, so what happens here is kinetic energy increases, space, okay, intermolecular space increases and force of attraction becomes weak. Okay, this is in case of melting. Now what happens during freezing? Force of attraction becomes strong. Okay, force of attraction will be strong. Kinetic energy of the particle decreases and intermolecular space also decreases. Intermolecular space also decreases. So these are the three changes that happens which leads to one after the other. So this is what happens during melting, and this is what happens during freezing. Now there are other changes of state as well, isn't it? What happens when liquid changes to gases? So as you know, the liquid particles are free to move compared to solids. Now when liquid they gain heat, okay, when they gain heat, what happens is, as I told you, the kinetic energy of the particle increases, force of attraction between the particles become weak, and the intermolecular spaces increases. When the force of attraction becomes weak, the particles tend to move away from each other, which increases the intermolecular space. And thus, the particles become very much free to move, which means thus liquid has changed to gas. Okay, the liquid state has been converted to gaseous state. And what is this process called? Liquid changes to gases. It is called vaporization. Okay, so when liquid changes to gases, it is called vaporization. And how does liquid changes to gases? The particles get heated, force of attraction becomes weak, kinetic energy increases, and intermolecular space also increases. Now, the vice versa. When gases converts into liquid, the gaseous particles, when gaseous particles, they lose heat. Okay, when a substance which is a gas loses heat, okay, what happens is, when they lose heat, the kinetic energy decreases. The kinetic energy of the particle decreases. When the kinetic energy decreases, the force of attraction between the particle becomes strong, and the intermolecular space also becomes decreases, okay, which becomes less. Intermolecular space also becomes less. So when kinetic energy decreases, force of attraction increases, and the intermolecular space also decreases, which brings the particles quite closer. Okay, which brings the particles quite closer, and thus the gases changes to liquid. And what is this process called? This process is called condensation. What is this process called? This process is called condensation. Okay. So this is how liquid changes to gases and gases converts to liquid. Now, another one, there is a change state from solid directly to gases. Sometimes the solid particles, when they get too much heated, when they get a lot of heat, they, instead of converting into liquid, they directly changes to gases. Okay, so the same thing, they've been supplied a lot of heat. When they get a lot of heat, when the particles they gain heat, what happens is the kinetic energy starts increasing, and when the kinetic energy increases, force of attraction becomes weak, and when force of attraction becomes weak, intermolecular space also increases. That means they start moving away from each other. And what is this process called? It is called sublimation. Okay, that means solid when directly converts into gases, that phenomenon is called sublimation. And then you know the vice versa, which means gases directly converts into solid without changing into liquid. Okay, so what happens is the gases, they lose heat. When they lose heat, the kinetic energy decreases, and when kinetic energy decreases, force of attraction becomes strong, and the intermolecular space also decreases, and the particles come closer, which means the particles now changes from gases to which state? Solid state. And what is this process called? This process is called deposition. Okay, this process is called deposition. So we learned all the three processes. That means all the change of states. So when solid changes to liquid, it is called melting. When liquid changes to solid, it is called freezing. When liquid changes to gases, it is called vaporization. And when gases converts into liquid, it is called condensation. When solid directly converts to gases, it is called sublimation. And when gases directly converts to solid, it is called deposition. Now during all these processes, as we've been saying, if the body gains heat, it changes to another state. When it loses heat, it changes to another state. But when the body gets heated in this process, that is melting, freezing, condensation, vaporization, there will be no change in temperature. Please remember this is very important. Every time you define the process of melting, freezing, vaporization, sublimation, deposition, condensation, please remember that you need to mention that there will be no change in temperature. Now, you might be wondering, why is there no change in temperature despite the body being heated, isn't it? When the body is being heated, its temperature is supposed to increase. When the body loses heat, its temperature is supposed to decrease, right? Despite that, there will be no change in temperature because the amount of heat that has been taken, the amount of heat that has been supplied or taken is used to change the state, okay, from one state to another state. That is why there will be no change in temperature. For example, when solid gains heat and changes to gases, okay, when solid particles they gain heat and changes to gaseous particle, supposed to be the solid particles supposed to be having high temperature, isn't it? Because it's gaining heat. But there will be no change in temperature till all the solid converts into gases. That means all the particles of solid changes into gaseous particle. There will be no change in temperature because the amount of heat which has been absorbed by the solid has been used for change in state, okay, which means it has been used to change from state of solid to gases. Okay, so there will be no change in temperature. If an ice, when you keep an ice in your palm and just let it melt completely, you record the temperature of ice, say 0 degrees Celsius. Once it has completely melted to water, you measure its temperature, you still find it to be 0 degrees Celsius. That means despite the amount of heat received by the ice, absorbed by the ice, to change into water, there has been no increase or decrease in temperature, because the amount of heat which the ice has absorbed has been used only for the change in state from ice to water, that is from solid to liquid. Okay, so please remember this, there will be no change in temperature during this processes. And as far as this vaporization is concerned, that means when liquid changes to gases, there are two types of vaporization. One is called boiling, the other one is called evaporation. And this one we'll be discussing later. Okay, now we're just talking about the change effects of heat, in which we were discussing about change in state. Okay, now the last one is change in size of the body. The last effect that we have here on our book is change in size. Okay, the third one that we have is change in size. Now, you know very well that heat causes expansion, isn't it? Any particle, any substance that gets heated, what happens? It expands. That means its volume increases. That is your change in size. And some of the examples that we can discuss is, I don't know, I think we've discussed this already, where the volume increases or density changes. When, say, you take an iron ball, okay, you take an iron ball, you heat it. First, what you need to do is you need to make a ring through which the iron ball fits very easily. Say you take a ring through which the iron ball will completely fit in. Now, what you do is you need to heat this iron ball. Okay, this is your iron ball. You need to heat this. Now, when you heat this, you heat it for some time, say for an hour or something. When you heat it, what will you find is this iron ball will not fit through this ring. Okay, after heating this, what will you find is this iron ball does not fit through the ring. What does it prove? It proves heat causes expansion. Now, why does the body expands? Because the same phenomenon, the same concept, the particles of the substance, they get heated. And when the particles of the substance gets heated, their kinetic energy increases. That means they start moving faster. When kinetic energy increases, the force of attraction between the particle, they become weak. That means the particles will start moving away from each other, which leads to the increase in intermolecular space. And when the space between them increases, the particles will occupy more space, which means their volume increases. And thus, we say the substance have expanded. Okay, that is the conception of expansion. So, it's basically the particles, what happens is increasing kinetic energy, which leads to less weak intermolecular force of attraction, and which increases the intermolecular space, thus leading them to take more space and thus causing expansion. So these are the three effects of heat. One is change in temperature, the other is change in state, and the third one is change in size of the body. And likewise, when a body loses heat, it contracts. Okay, why does it contract? The same concept, kinetic energy decreases when the body loses heat. Intermolecular force of attraction becomes strong. That means the particles start coming closer, and thus they occupy less space. And thus we say there is a contraction. So I hope you've understood the three effects of heat. If there's anything that you need to know, and if there's anything that I can help with which you have not understood, please feel free to call. Thank you and have a good day.